That was a great note. Let's have a listen to that again.
Sound check.
G'day and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan, and today, for the second time, we will be listening to and reviewing Gabriel Henrique. And he is a Brazilian singer. Many of you have become familiar with him through America's Got Talent and his Golden Buzzer moment. And ever since that point in time, he's just blowing up on YouTube and for good reason. He's a great singer and he's really a really great example of modern riff and run. And today we'll be listening to him doing a cover of the Whitney Houston hit, Saving All My Love for You. So let's dive in. There's a whole range of things for us to talk about and learn from, remembering that this is a learn to sing channel, and so we'll be, doing our review through that lens. But even if learning to sing is not your thing, then I encourage you, educate yourself on how this world of singing is done, and why we appreciate ones like Gabriel, who are just really fantastic. Let's dive in and have a listen to Gabriel Henrique doing Saving All My Love. Isn't that a beautiful tone? I mean, it really is a beautiful tone. I do want to make one comment though, and that is this has almost certainly been edited in post. In fact, I'd bet my bottom dollar that it has. The levels are consistent, even despite the fact that he moves the mic around a fair bit. There seems to be no hand movement in the mic or lead effect from the mic. What I try to find online to review for us here at Voice Essentials are 100% live takes that have limited editing going on. I struggled to find one of a level of quality that we could have a watch of Gabriel do his thing again. And so we're just going to understand that's the case here, that there's a whole heap of editing done after the fact. But the reason I wanted to show you him is because there's so many things that he does with his voice that I really love. But no one there cannot do. So I save all my love for you. That takes quite a bit of breath management to do what he just did. Hear how that was all done on one breath. And it had a beautiful line to it. Let's take it back and just appreciate the continuance of that line. We talk about line in singing, and line is given to the idea of a continuance of tone. And when we're learning to sing, establishing a continuance of line can be quite challenging, and it's generally because our air can be inconsistent. But in this particular instance, we hear a really beautiful line. So I save all my love for you. Straight through. Beautiful. It's not very easy. Now the one thing that we might want to do there with that tone, can you hear how the tone, certainly in my cans, the tone kind of gets lost in the backing track. And that's because we don't quite have enough tweak around about between 2.8 to 3.2 kilohertz, which we would generally form with twang. The twang comes in when we hear that really sharp resonance, not sharp in pitch, a focused resonance. And we hear it in the change, but as a result, we suddenly get clarity to the voice, clarity to our ears as far as being able to really identify the lyric. Whereas prior, in that really smooth ambient tone, we kind of don't quite have enough core tone to really lock onto. Hear how broad that is? And then you get that clarity of tone there. That little bit of in the sound, we want to be really purposeful in the use of that. That's actually some constriction at the level of vocal folds. I love that in his voice because it really textures it and it gives us that really just little bit of grit, which I quite like the tone of, the sound of. Just also, let's remember that Gabriel does not speak English. That has to be appreciated because we do lose some of the English articulation, but I think we can excuse that on the basis that his native language is not English. In fact, he actually states he does not speak any English. And so the very fact that we can even identify really clear English throughout this piece is a real credit to him.
Tell me we'd walk away together. Love gives you the right to be free. You say.
I love that little scoop there. That was great. It's such a small little thing, but it's beautifully done. And he just scoops up. Have a listen to that again.
Love gives you the right to be free. You.
That's a lovely line. One of the skills of great riffing and running is not just the fact that you can move your voice really quickly. It's the accuracy of those movements and the choice of those movements. The musical nous, the melodic acumen, the ability to move the voice through those notes in a really musical way. And Gabriel, he's got that down. Have a listen to that because that's cool.
Say, be patient, just wait a little longer. But that's just an open disease.
We lose the tone there again, don't we? Another one. I just quite enjoy those. So let's have a listen to that one again.
We'll be making love the whole night through. So I say me all my love. Yes, I say me all my love. Yes, I say me all my love for you.
Beautiful.
No other woman is gonna love me more. 'Cause tonight is the night that I'm feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through.
I do want to say, because many of you watch my analysis videos and you've heard me make comment about emotional connection and eyes, and I don't know whether it's purely because of the positioning of this single video shot. This performance is all about his dexterity of voice. it does, in my opinion, and you'll comment, I know you will if you disagree, it does lack a sense of connection. Yes, he is engaged in the song and he is performing the song. It just, for me, doesn't grab me by the heartstrings and pull me in. He maintains my connection with him just by virtue of his fantastic singing, but not by virtue of the emotional connection, which I think we can all agree is what Whitney definitely had. But this is it's a little bit surfacey on the emotional level for me. Leave your comments. There will be many of you who disagree, and I respectfully acknowledge that, but for me it's just not grabbing me. But the voice, I mean, wow, the voice is very cool.
So I say me all my love, yes, I say me all my love, yes, I say me all my love.
That was a great note. Let's have a listen to that again.
Yes, I say me all my love, yes, I say me all
Oh
my
yeah,
love
oh yeah. Lovely whistle tone. Very cool. Very nice use of whistle tone. He saved it till the end. He could have called this Saving All My Whistle Tone for You. Beautiful. He's got some really lovely musicality about him, and I think that's what is his standout. As far as the emotional connection goes, which, you know, I made some comment on, you know, that's going to develop over time. He's still a relatively young singer. He's only in his, I think, in his late 20s. And so these are things that for a performer, they develop on stage. They don't really develop on camera. And so as he's able to do, you know, and continues to develop more performance opportunity, and he almost certainly is doing that as we speak, then that ability to connect with an audience through the eyes and grab people's hearts beyond what is a fantastic voice, I'm sure is going to come along. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of Gabriel Henrique. He's a fantastic vocal and a great display of riff and run. Fantastic display of riff and run. I hope you've enjoyed today's vocal analysis. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.